has more than I do. Let me run back to him. Isn't it amazing, just first off, the places that it takes for you to come to yourself? You can be all super spiritual, but in reality, many of us have to get to the lowest place in our life before we really come to ourselves and realize, God, I need you. Some of you, it came when you were in the bar. Some of you, it happened at an altar. Wherever it happened, and you realize you can't do it on your own. That's an important thing in your life. Yes. I want to talk about that some other time. But it says he came back to the Father's house, and as he came, his father threw a great celebration. He put a robe upon him, a ring upon his finger. He killed the very best calf that he had and had a big celebration, and they had music. And we're going to pick up on this because the older brother is in the field working, and he hears the music, and he sees the celebration, and this is what he says, verse 25. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. First of all, isn't it amazing how you can be in the house and not know what worship sounds like? Because you think it's connected to a song or some words, but not really know what true celebration is. Here's the older son with a victim mentality that had a problem celebrating anybody else's success. Because the victim says it's all about me. And I can't celebrate with you because I'm jealous of you. Let's prove it. Verse 27. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said he was angry and would not go in, therefore, and came his father out and entreated him. Let's back up 27. One more. Hallelujah. And he said to him, thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fatted calf, because he received him safe and sound. Now verse 28, let's check that out. And he was angry and would not go in, therefore, and his father came out and entreated him. What happened? He got mad because here's his younger brother who already got the inheritance. He's the older brother and has it. What's the difference? Victim mentality. Childish thinking. His younger brother simply came and said, Father, can I have my inheritance? He said, yeah. And he gave it to him. Think of it. It could be that easy. And how many of us get mad at other people when they get blessed? You know we do. Yes. It's human nature that we do. When we see somebody else going further than we are with what appears to be less than what we have a problem with that. And the victim mentality will rise up in you and cause you to have a violent backlash towards anyone going forward. Why? Because you want to go forward and you feel like you're doing everything you can do and you can't get there. In reality, it was the victim mentality. The older brother should have had the inheritance first. He was older. Technically, neither one of them should have had the inheritance because the father has to die to get it. But it was the simple fact that the younger one was mature enough to say, can I have my inheritance now? And he got it. And it tells me that age, we can't classify that and clarify how do we get the inheritance. Is it by age? Who's been saved longer? It doesn't work like that. Because the fact of the matter is, somebody that comes up a year can be much more deeper than somebody who's been saved 30 years because they have the spiritual depth of a pothole, because they have a victim mentality, and they never took time to mature and grow and develop because it offended them anytime someone tried to help them grow. Why? Because they've got it all figured out. And no one knows their background or what they've been through or what they had to face. No one understands where they've been or what they grew up in. And because of that, they've locked themselves up and plateaued in their life and can't go forward. So someone with less time in the game comes in and gets more. And I can understand why he would be angry, because I'd probably be a little upset at that too. But it begins to really tell me about his character. When he got so angry, he wouldn't even join the celebration, wouldn't even come in the doors, stood outside. And isn't it amazing? It said, the Father, come out. I want you to know, men with a victim mentality, the Father is coming for you today. He is all up in your business today. I don't care where you are. He knows your thoughts. He knows what you're thinking, and he is not Santa Claus. You didn't even get that as a song, but it's all right. His father came out. Verse 29. Bring it to a close today. And answering said unto his father, Lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandments, and thou never gavest me a kid, which was the calf, that I might make merry with my friends. 30 and 31. But as soon as thy son was come, which hath devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. As the praise team comes back today, and we bring it for a close, and I do apologize for keeping you longer than normal, I can understand why the older brother missed it. It tells everything about his character. He was angry because he said, my younger brother went further than I did. And he messed up. And even though he wasted his inheritance, he came back to you and you gave it to him again. And look at me. I'm proud. I've got a badge on my shirt. Look at all the great things I've done. I've never messed up. All the times I fulfilled your commandments. Does this sound like anybody religious talking at all? God, listen to all the times you told me to do something and I did it. Look at all the faithful years I put in with you. Look at all the times that I sat on my pew because it was my pew and I wouldn't let nobody else sit there. Look at all the times that I was the one that came down and I was the first to give in the offering. Look at me. I was the one that I gave the biggest donations. Look at me. I was the one that raised my hand higher even though if I had to stand up on the seat to do it because someone else was taller than me. Look, God, I'm the one that went over and beyond. And why are you giving my brother who messed up so many times and has even came back to you and realized and even said he messed up, why are you giving him not only the inheritance once, but twice? You should give it to me. And the father says, victim mentality. I was with you the whole time and you never even asked. Because you were so consumed by what you were doing that you never took time to see who you were becoming. What does it come down to today? It's not about what we're doing, but it's who we're becoming. And men, I'm concerned that in all of our doing, we're becoming something unlike God. With a mentality that eats us away in our emotions, in our mindset, that brings us to a place where we feel like that the world is centered around us, where we feel like everything has to be about us. So the family's about us. Everything in the career is about us. We want everyone to give up everything to help us. But what are we doing to help somebody else? Who are we becoming? Sure, I don't minimize the great things you've did. I don't minimize the degrees, and I don't minimize the accomplishments and the faithfulness and everything you did do right. I don't minimize that at all. But through the process, who are you really becoming? Because in reality, here's someone with less time in, did everything wrong, but had enough sense to say, God, I'm coming to you when I mess up. Because the Father was symbolic of God, in case I didn't tell you that. He had enough sense to know, even in his lowest state, if I can get back in the house of God. Even the people that are starting out in God have more than I have right now. Even those that are just beginning, that just got saved, have more joy, have more peace than I have. If I could just even get back in the entry level. And he showed up, and God was so excited because here was a boy that took responsibility for his actions. That said, I messed up, and I used everything you gave me in all the wrong ways. And that excited God because he didn't see the victim mentality in him. The younger son wasn't coming saying, you know what, I got robbed and someone took everything from me and I was doing really great and I had a nice house that caught on fire and burnt down and everything you gave me, I put it in a safe place, but a flood came and washed it away. He didn't come up with a whole line of excuses. He said, I messed up, it was me. I'm not a victim here. I did it. I can't base my life upon what everyone did to me because I asked for it. I was in all the wrong places at all the wrong times. I did everything wrong. And that's why I'm coming to you. And men, I believe God is calling us to take responsibility for our actions. We have to stop acting like everything's the world's fault. I don't care if gas is $4 a gallon. Guess what? God can bless us. We can still pay it. We can't blame our lack of finances on gas prices or a job, because in reality, we can always better ourselves. We've got to lose the mentality that we're not at fault, because reality is we did do things to be at fault at some point in our life or not. It may just now be catching up to you. But when we can get to the place where we can come to the Father and say, I'm not the victim, but I want to be the victor. It excites God so much to see someone that doesn't have childish thinking in the sense that he thinks he is a victim. And God will bless you again, double for your trouble. Here's a boy, he got to go through the inheritance twice because he didn't have a victim mentality. Will you stand with me on your feet today? We're about to dismiss you and let you go. Men, I understand where you are because I'm there too. And I'm challenging all of us together. And I refuse to ever ask you to do anything I won't first do myself. So please know with a humble heart and my best intentions, I have searched